Well, when opportunity knocks, I always answer, or I try to. This is a Ranger Camper. Only about 200 of these made, and I have the opportunity to take ownership of this one. So I am going to put some new tires on it. Actually, the shop here is going to put new tires on it for me, and we're going to haul this bad boy home. Pretty much all original linoleum countertops. Check those countertops out. So this one does have the spears, so it is likely a 54 or early 55 Ranger pop-up. Had canvas sides, crank mechanism, little marine style sink, just pump it. Water tanks up here in the front. Had 54 Ford taillights on it. Somewhere in here are the lenses to those. These are the spears that go on the side. Oh, I got cut off on that first video there. Dad had hollered out, now you get to take the rims back and have them sell you the right valve stem. I forgot to grab valve stems, and so went to get some in the little town that was close by, and they sold me the wrong ones, but my bad. I know better than to leave the store without checking it. I handed the guy the rim, and you would think handing him the rim would have given them the heads up, but no. So we are back home in the barn here, and I have pulled the canvases out, trying to see kind of what I got my work cut out for me, I guess. But it needs a little bit of woodwork, not bad. The worst thing about it is the front, and after backing it down the driveway, I can tell you, I mean, it didn't take rocket scientists to figure out what happened on both sides. There's a short tongue, and they jackknifed the trailer as they were backing up and crunched it. Not on one side, but both sides. We make sure we do it upright. I got the back pulled out here, not all the way, but this back, this is like a little trundle bed, or like a rumble seat in a car, in an old car. And the wood in it is going to need redone. I'll probably go ahead and redo this back panel as well, because that is actually what the fiberglass back portion bolts to. So I want that to be as solid as possible. I'll come over here so you can see kind of how that back area is rotted. And it's probably because the taillights have been out of it, so the water has just come in and come straight down. But the crank system works awesome. Cranks up really easy. These pieces up here are brass, so I think they'll polish up real nice. But it's pretty cool. I am super stoked and honored that my buddy decided to sell it to me. He wanted canvas for it, and he asked me about making canvas for it, and I kind of teasingly said, well, what you need to do is just sell it to me, and I'll have it here at the Vintage Camper Rally next year. And he got thinking about it, and he came over after we'd been in the campground for a little bit at the rally, and he said, you know, I think you might be the best person for that camper. It's a gas stove. The line has been cut to it, but it is a modern air. This linoleum on the countertops is just so cool. Yeah, that's a simple crank mechanism to crank it up. It has its own electrical, fused electrical in the trailer. Check out this light fixture. It's got an electrical outlet on it. I don't know if I have the lens or if you just use a bulb. Doesn't look like it had a lens in it. But all the birch is in pretty decent shape. These need a little bit of work. These little pieces here are kind of bent, so I'll have to kind of work on those a little bit. Those are just like the little stabilizers for the roof line. 54 Ford taillights is what was on the back. So this will be the taillight that goes on, and the chrome bezels. Have a set of new old stock ones, so that's what that's going to look like. The latches for the top are there, brand new latches. All the side marker lights Somebody has taken the time to order and get the side marker lights. There were side marker lights. I think there's a hole for them right over here in the side. Yeah. So right here, where the little pointed teardrop side marker lights. Seat cushions are here. They are well loved by mice and men. So, but the buttons have buttons in them. So I'll try to get a fabric that's similar to that original. This is the mattress for back there in the trundle. And then there's tons of storage underneath each of these. The spears, as I mentioned, are here. So these go on the fenders out here. I have to come up with some kind of step for that door stepping down though, so those are going to be wicked cool. Has an extra set of rims with it. Just got to find some hubcaps. The guy I bought it off of has some of the original paperwork and everything, and he thinks he has a set of hubcaps. So that'd be cool to get those. There are some areas in it where the wood kind of needs a little love, but I am not planning on redoing any of this. I'm not cutting new. We're just going to fix up what is there because I want to keep the original on every aspect of it that we can. The sink is porcelain, which is kind of nice. Never know what you're going to find. Maybe that's where they hide the money. Let's open the fridge. Does it just pull? How do we open the fridge? Oh, yeah, it just pulls. That's pretty cool. Got a little tray in it. Neat. These little push. This is like the old travel trailer we had. Just these little push lever drawer handles. Tons of storage for the size of the trailer that it is. Somebody just hooked up a garden hose. How's your drainage? Yeah, little crank out windows. Just have a little notch cut into them. You just kind of push it out and let it sit, rest on a notch. What am I missing? I don't know, I'm excited about it. Can't believe I have one. Pretty awesome. And when the trailer is in transport, you can use the little bed in the back as storage. I was trying to find my my tail lights, my other tail lights. Let me go back there. I don't know what she's barking at. Oh, the latch to the main door is like a hidden door latch. Check this out. Brand new license light. Is that better? Yeah. Wow. So whoever kind of started it ordered a bunch of parts. There's one of the lights on the inside. Wonder where that was mounted. But it's like a hidden latch. I don't know if the keys are in it or not. So that goes in over here. Yeah. Pretty cool. I like it a lot. I wonder what this hole's for. Maybe a rod or a pole when you had your canvas on. That's the other cool thing. There's an awning track on the front and the back. And then the canvas runs on the awning track that's on the inside. So I'm gonna do a double awning on it, I think, front and back. I'm excited. I'm ready to get going on it. I know. I haven't forgotten about them. Don't worry. Just don't have internet right now. So I'm filming just to film, and I'll fill you in when I can. Super exciting though. The date on the paper. Yeah, not that old, 2003. So the guy I bought it off of a guy from Indiana. And he went out to Colorado and got this one. So this trailer came from Colorado. What do we got here? Passenger side front, I assume is what that stands for. Driver's side rear. What do you think? Yeah, passenger side rear. So those go somewhere. Gotta figure out where those go. In here. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, those are glass. No way. There's 2 of them. You know, I have some really cool blue ones too. Oh man. This is like the goodie bag. Need to make sure I go gently through here. But another red, yeah, that's another red one. Glass one. And we have a spare lens. Those are cool. Forget the orange plastic. Although those feel, yeah, those are plastic. Okay, those might be glass. These are all the receipts. Okay, make sure I'm not giving away any names here. Yeah, it does have a name on it, so we'll leave those closed. How cool is that? Might have a contact information. Number on trailer tongue, HEC 1030. Let's go see. Maggie, what do you think? What do you think? Huh? I noticed up here there's a stamp 227. They only made about 200 of these trailers, so to have the stamp 227 either means this is the one of the last one made, or that absolutely means nothing, and that's part number 227 or manufactured February 27th. HEC, he says 1030. I see HEC. Is that a 1 there? 11030? Yeah, I may have to get some little good old-fashioned spit goes a long way. Definitely 1030, but I think there's another 1 maybe right there. Yeah, and then everything's all hand, stamped with manufacturer numbers and everything. The crank, this is the crank to crank it up. Right here is your electrical, so you just plug in your extension cord. That gets your power to that outlet there. Crank mechanism's all up in here. Could probably see it better from the back one. I'm super stoked. And I keep saying it, but I cannot believe the guy that sold it to me because he has the disease just as bad as I do. But he also knows I am passionate about this kind of thing, and I won't just do it. I will do it and use it. I will camp in it. With that, I'm going to leave you. This is our parallel project with Pickle, and it'll be at the Vintage Camper Rally next year. We'll clean it out. I'll do a little bit more on it before we make this a full video. You can open the door when I do like that. It's one of the negative things about the Higgins camper. You can't open the door and put anything in it when that lid is down. But this one, you can close the lid and the door will still open. I need to dig around and see if I can find some keys though. Be nice. I love that molded piece there, or that cut piece. I'm excited. Won't see very many of these around. I said that about the Higgins and they just started coming out of the woodwork, but I think this one's quite a bit more rare. All right. Let's get it cleaned out. See what it looks like all cleaned out. Yeah, I've got everything kind of tore out of it and everything kind of where it's supposed to be. And I'm leaning towards this panel right here has been replaced. This, I think, was under the original icebox. I think it went the other way. I do not think that is the original icebox, and I do not think this is the original stove. Just based on how it fits on the countertop, and there is a gas line coming out of it back there that I just don't think it's the right thing. And they kind of match, so they probably came out of a camper that was era or period correct, but I don't think they came out of this. Plus, everyone I've seen of these, there isn't that much data available, but the icebox folds down, and this one opens this way. So I don't know. I'm planning on just leaving that. I'm not gonna redo it. The stove, however, I think I will go. I have a vintage alcohol stove in my sailboat that I don't use very much, so I probably will go get it and put it in here because it will fit better on the countertop. But yeah, I'm leaning towards this panel here has been replaced. Just basing it on the veneer that's on it. It's different than the others. And that panel straight ahead, you can't see that real well. Let me get in there. It also looks like it has been replaced. So I will be probably redoing that, as well as the cabinets. I don't see any cabinets like this on any of the things I can find online. They're squared off more. I like the roundedness. And not picking at whoever attempted to try and redo it, but it's just not very well done. You know, it's just not real well done. The screws were put in there too tight, so it kind of warped the wood. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's not coming through real well on camera, but just not real keen on the job that was done. You can see how it kind of dips in right there. I just don't like that. So I'll probably rip those out as well. And you can tell the cut here, that's not a factory cut. So somebody has redone those and attempted to try and kind of save it and bring it back, but you see it's got a big buckle. It's a big buckled out place right there. But all in all, everything is in pretty good shape. All the wood underneath, except for this drawer back here, is pretty good. So I'll just we'll redo that whole thing, rip all that out, take the drawer out and redo it. There's also a rib, a wooden rib about right here on the side, on each side, and it has rotted on both sides, but the floor underneath it looks like it's pretty good. I probably will go ahead and replace it anyway once we get down that far. Probably just go ahead and replace the floor. Floor's solid here though. And this linoleum's pretty cool. I hate to rip it up. If I can save it, I will try to do so. Looks like there's a trim piece missing there. And you can see this panel here kind of looks like it might have been replaced too. Someone trying to attempt to bring it back. I definitely think the drawer fronts are original, and the nails that are behind this one up here to be the original. Sink is original, cabinets are original, but yeah, I think the stove and the icebox are not. And like I said, I think that door there was under the icebox and folded down, and the icebox was above it. I think there was a cutting board above the icebox, maybe? A cutting board that came out, or a little table or something. The check strap on the door, much like a Volkswagen bus that had a check strap on it, will have to be put back on. That's all the junk that I cleaned out of it, because it'll hit, so the fiberglass will hit if it opens all the way. So I definitely need to put and it had one, because there's a busted spot right there, and then there's two screws. But see, that's what's making me think this panel's replaced, and you can even see behind it. Looks like the original panel's still there. So I've got my work cut out for me, but I am stoked. The door gap is way off here too, but if you lift, this door lifts way up. And if you lift it up and then shut it, it lines up. So that will have to be addressed. But I have good bones to work with at least. And I'm super excited. The place that the awning goes into up here, not awning, but the side curtains. I've been trying to find some pictures online of how it kind of goes around here. I gotta replace that piece of wood up there too. I've been trying to find wherever that data is, not having much luck. So I'll come up with something up there to make the turn. And then where the electrical comes in is kind of an odd thing. It's way up here. Get you out of the sun here. It's way up here. So you're going to have an electrical cord hanging down outside your camper, which I don't like. So I'll probably make a cloth pocket that your cord runs up into. I just don't like the idea of a cord hanging down. But I posted a single picture on Facebook on one of the vintage camper pages, and people are flipping out. They're like, do you have any idea how rare that thing is? Like, oh, don't I know. I have 2 sets of rims. These are old, I think they're Ford rims. So I need to get some hubcaps, but I have 2 sets. The set that's on the trailer, and they have been primered. A lot of the pictures too that I see of them, it looks like the trailer sits down a lot lower. So I don't know if the axle's different on this one, or what is going on, or if I just got a different wheel on there than it had factory. We should stick one of those tail lights up there, see what it looks like. What do you think? You want to see what one looks like? Yeah, let me cut my lights, my tow lights off. When we went to pop it up, the tow lights were caught under the T-handle. So I ripped the cord out of this one. So they need to be cut off and rewired anyway. Yeah, let me go get the scissors and I'll cut those off, and we'll put a light up there and maybe see what it looks like. One of the things too I wanted to mention, this trailer has a number stamped in 2 different places. You can find it. Was it up here somewhere? I thought it was up. Yeah, 227. See that? 227. It's also stamped in the back, on the back piece. And they said there are only about 200 of these made. There it is again. 227. So it'd be kind of unreasonable to think this is number 227, especially if it's a 54. Supposedly 54s were the only ones with spears. Yet all the pictures I see, they all have spears on the wheel well. So who knows? Just very limited data on this guy. Yeah, let's dig under there and get a taillight and see what it looks like. Just thought I'd show if I can get it to show up. These are the real deal. See that? It says Ford Co. right there. And then down here it says First. Well, FRST 53. I don't want to be replacing those. I think these cost about $100 a piece or something like that. Yeah, let's not be breaking those lenses. There's a little spinner piece that goes here in the center. So we'll go ahead and put 1 screw in there so we don't bust that sucker. So I wasn't sure how it would balance. You know, typically on a single axle trailer, when you're walking back to the back of it, it wants to pull the front end off the ground. I thought, yep, I could stand in there to put the light on. But then we're lifting up that whole front of the trailer. So I put a couple jack stands under it. But you can stand all the way in the back, or at least I can, and it doesn't pop up. So it's pretty well balanced. Let's put this guy on. Is that cool or what? Yeah, let me go down on the ground and we'll take a peek at it. That's pretty awesome. Looks a little better than the tow light. So I want to wire those either to an inverter or a battery or something so that we can run them when it's parked in the campground. Because how awesome would it be for those to be lit up and the side marker lights, because they'll be up here. Yeah, those are cool. I like it. The other really cool thing is I have all of the canvas except for the top bits of some of it, which I'm pretty used to working with shreds. So, and they're all pretty much straight except for this one. This is the one that goes over the bed, and they're all labeled. Somebody took a Sharpie and labeled them all. So this one's passenger side, tells me which direction the door is, so that you're looking at the inside of it. So actually it would flip over, go on the trailer. And so this one is the front because this one's labeled the driver's side front. So somebody at least took some time to label them. And apparently they only had access to 36-inch wide fabric because there's a lot of seamage going on, and now we have 60-inch wide. The other thing, I said I was going to sew an electrical pocket for my electrical cord. I'm pretty sure that's what this is, and I hadn't even looked at these yet. Is that what that is? Or is this the door? You know? It's hard to tell. Is that the door side? So that would be the front, be the door. Yeah, that's the door. So that must stop right here. So I wonder if there was a rod or something that kind of held that stiff right there. There definitely was something that went in the door. And the one picture I've seen, I could only find one. It looks like there was a bar that came up and then just made a 90. So I'll have to come up with something for that. And I do believe that plate is original. It's a straight screw head. So, yeah, I have to figure that out. But it's cool to have the canvases. There's just a bead up on top. And you just run it in the track. Not a whole lot to it. And it looks like the flap went on the inside. Are there snaps on the inside? No, there's screws though. Bet you there were snaps originally. They pulled out. I bet you it snapped over on both sides. And then the little flaps that are here, these little guys, appear to have wrapped around here. But the snap is the same. That's odd. Somebody just mess up putting a snap on that one? Or are they all that way? That one's missing. So you can't tell. And that one's been replaced, and those are both the same, but there's no snaps up here. Oh, yeah, there is. Right there's one. Okay, so those snapped around that. Oh, there's a snap there. Okay. That's how that goes on. And then this appears like it just flopped down over the back, snapped on each side around here. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, there's a snap there. Think that was a snap? No, that's a license plate. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. See if I can find a picture of it somewhere, but that is going to be the easiest canvas I think I've ever done. Straight panels. That's a new one. Don't have to build a roof line. Got that. So our wind is picking up and it's supposed to rain the next couple days. So I've just started cranking down the roof on this thing. And to get the little side stabilizers, by the way, this is super strong and stable. I had to get up and get the Higgins tent pattern out of there. And I used this roof, I kind of pushed on it to see how stable it was. I used that to kind of balance myself. And I stood on it. So, yeah, it'll hold at least half of me on that one side. Probably not the smartest thing to do, but it was kind of in my way. So I have pushed up on the roof, and then you kick these side stabilizers in, and then I have just started cranking down. I want to show you how easy this is though. Crank it down. So there's just a hand crank right here. I've just got a nail in the, there's a spot where this catches, and there's just a nail in there right now, so we may break our nail, but it just cranks down super easy. So these are considered the first modern pop-up. Very little effort I've got going in here to crank this thing down. And the two tracks kind of are offset, I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're offset. So when it collapses, they sit one inside the other. Probably need to go back there and make sure our wind is, apologize for the wind. We're supposed to get some pretty bad storms in the next couple days. Walk around and check everything, make sure we're closing okay. Yeah, it looks like things are going down okay. I'm really shocked at how easy. I mean, I'm little effort at all, just cranking it down, make sure we're not going to hit that ladder. Yeah, we're clear. All right, let's finish cranking it down all the way. It's missing the latches too. How's that going to do with the cushion right there? Is it going to hit? It shouldn't hit, right? I mean, if it hits the edge, that's okay. I got to repair these. Surely the cushions are intended to be in there when it's collapsed. Let's just find out. I think it's going to be okay. Again, we might break our nail. Almost all the way down. There she be. So that folded down super easy. Easier than any pop-up, modern pop-up I've ever dealt with. Cables didn't get stuck or anything. Looks like this side here is a little bit towed in, like the metal bracket's actually bent. The fiberglass kind of goes in there. Fiberglass is somewhat flexible, it's probably just forcing it in. So there's some work I'm gonna have to do. Those taillights though, so pretty. Then there'll be a license plate light here. It's weird that this lip though, the license plate goes down here, you'd think it would block it. Oh, and I found I have a 54 plate in my plate stash. It's not a trailer plate, but I do have a 54 plate. That's kind of cool. Gap on here is better. You can see the gap here is better. And they've shaved it to allow your awning to go in. The jalousies are cool. We had these on our old 72 Mallard that we had. Cool thing about this one is the door opens. I put the little crank in there so a certain little 7-year-old doesn't lose it. Yeah, the door opens when it's down. I like that a lot. That's an asset to a trailer that if you've ever had one of the other option, like the Higgins, you have to pop the lid to get it open. So if you need to throw something in the last minute, you have to like open the whole trailer. It's cool. I love it. Even looks good with the top down. Imagine seeing that thing come at you or looking at it from behind driving down the road. It's gonna look good behind the bus. I love it. With that, folks, I'm gonna leave you hanging. Thanks for being here. I truly appreciate it. Now I gotta get on pickle while the weather's warm. See you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for being here. Since acquiring this trailer, I have learned that there isn't a lot of information regarding what the interior looked like and that kind of thing. Just not a lot of data out there for me to glean anything from. I have made contact with one person that does currently own one. So if you have any insight on anything you can offer me, I would greatly appreciate it. We're shooting blind on this one, so wish me luck.